You alright, guys? It's Jacob on the one up top, and as you can see, I'm on my own today because I'm going to preview Everton versus Burnley. Now, unfortunately, I haven't got any Everton fans or Burnley fans that have joined on, but everybody watching the video, if you've got anybody that's interested in an opinion on those two teams, send them in and we can have a discussion about it. Because, as I say, it's not just about myself; it's for fans, and I like to hear different opinions on football. So, I want to go into Everton Burnley, which is taking place this afternoon. Everton looking good this season. You know, they've had a few ups and downs, but looking a very decent outfit. And then you've got Burnley, who for me just do the same thing every season, and it works for them. And you can't complain. You know, they've been in the Premier League for a good few years now, and they don't look like they're ever going to leave it because they always find a formula to make sure that they maintain their status in the league. So, firstly, I'm going to touch on Everton. You know, a club that I do enjoy, you know, especially under the days of David Moyes. You know, they're a team that are similar to Spurs in the way that, you know, an old team, an old horse that used to win a lot of things. And even now they've got a status where they should be winning things, and unfortunately they don't. But they've got a very good manager in Ancelotti. I've got total respect for Ancelotti and what he's done. He's won the Champions League at numerous clubs. He's always been successful. He's even come to the Premier League and been successful before at Chelsea, and they sacked him for being successful in all sorts of ways you want to see it. But if we're going to talk about Everton currently this season, they've had a lot of players that, you know, have obviously took the limelight. We look at Calvert-Lewin, who's going to be the obvious one, scored a load of goals, you know, forced his way into the England squad. He's definitely going to be going to the Euros by the looks of it. They've had Richarlison, who started to pick up form and kind of take the mantle in terms of goal scoring. But if there's a player that I'm going to say is key for Everton, probably in this game, as well as in general, who I probably criticised, I'd say Michael Keane. You know, Michael Keane obviously came from Burnley as well. I always used to look at him and think he was an early defender. You know, he used to always look good, but then always have a mistake in him. And, you know, at one point I thought, Everton even going to keep him if they're going to bring Ancelotti in. But for me, he's been their best defender. He's had quite a lot of clean sheets. I saw a stat the other day. I think it's only a couple of weeks ago he got his first yellow card. You know, so that means he's timing his tackles well. He's not getting caught out. You know, and for me, if England are going to play a back three in the Euros, you'd probably think to have Maguire, Stones along with Michael Keane. But, you know, been a very good player. I think it'll be the reason why Everton will probably keep a clean sheet. And it might not be about his performance. I feel that Burnley away aren't too great. They normally get their points by earning their stripes at the at Turf Moor and keeping it tight there. And, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're a Man City, a Spurs, an Everton, a Fulham. You know, when you go to Turf Moor, especially when the fans are there, you don't feel that you're going to get an easy game. You know, Burnley are another team that I think the fans have not helped them, because when they turn Turf Moor into a fortress, you know, a lot of clubs have gone there. You know, your Man Uniteds, your Liverpools, they've gone to Burnley and not won. So if I look at this game here, you know, with Burnley away, I think their main player, which for me has been the main player the whole way through their fight to stay in the league, is James Tarkowski. And, you know, a lot of people would seem to think that maybe he's the sort of player that if Michael Keane didn't step up would have gone to Everton. You know, he's a player for me that, you know, with Liverpool having no defenders, they should have gone in for him. He's a very good defender. I don't see why Gareth leaves him out of the squad. But if I'm going to look at Burnley now, they're very old-fashioned. You know, they're 4-4-2. They're a Premier League team of the 90s in this day and age. So I think for the resource that they've got, the players that they've got, I think they do very well. And as much as we all hate to watch Burnley, well, a lot of people do, I actually give them a lot of commendament for doing what they do week in, week out. You know, they might lose games, but they do win games by making it difficult. So if I'm going to chuck a score out on this game, I'd say, you know, it's not going to be a game that might be easy on the eye. But I think Everton will be too strong. You know, Everton are 6th at the minute. I think if they win this game, It's a game in hand over Chelsea, which will keep the momentum going. I think Chelsea kick off earlier today against against Leeds. So they'll want to maintain that top 4 run. You know, there's a good bundle of teams that will be aiming for that. And if you're Everton, you look at Chelsea away to Leeds, thinking could drop points. You look at Tottenham away to Arsenal, could drop points. And then you've got Man United hosting West Ham. So you'll be looking at thinking, if we win this game and everybody drops points, we're front runners for top 4. So for me, with that in their belly, I'd say Everton 2-0. Richarlison will score today. You know, I think they'll win that game quite comfortably. They haven't really got to go into the next level in order to win that. I think Burnley, if they want to stay safe, they'll know that they need to get points, but they won't look at Everton away as the game where they feel that they need to go and get the points. They'll be looking at their home fixtures to everybody and saying if they can nick a point here, if they can get a victory there, which is what they always do, they'll get the victory. They'll get the security of staying in the Premier League, sorry. So, yeah, I think going to be an easy 2-0 for all Everton fans. I think Everton are a serious threat. Like, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if they think they nick 4th spot. You know, you've got Chelsea who are doing well, and I think Chelsea would drag a couple of teams into a fight to maybe finish 2nd or 3rd the way they're playing. And if they maintain that way they're playing under Thomas Tuchel, then I think they'll probably finish 2nd or 3rd. So Everton will look at it as they can get that top 4. Burnley, as I said, will probably be safe. So I'm going to stick by my decision, 2-0 Everton, and, you know, Everton will be there till the last game of the season challenging for the top 4.